All right, guys, I'm going to go over this with you how my client lost 45 pounds in 4 months. So I'm going to go over with you exactly where she started, what had happened when we started working together, and the progress that she was able to make while working together. So this is Sterling. Sterling started working with me when she was at a point of not being happy in her life. She had a lot of knee and foot pain from her weight. She was on her feet quite a bit. She was facing some other health issues as well, other than her weight. She was starting to have health issues that were really concerning to her that she was trying to combat. So her overall goal was to just get healthier, lose weight. But she was always tired. Like I said, worked 2 jobs, one of which being overnight. And as you can imagine, that probably takes quite a big toll working an overnight job in general, but on top of that, working a second job as well. You could imagine that she didn't have a whole lot of time to spend on her fitness and nutrition, right? So she craved sweets regularly, which we'll get into in a moment exactly why. And then also didn't know what to focus on. She continued to gain weight as time went on and started to get concerned that if she didn't actually take action right now in order to start losing weight and focusing on her health, that she was just going to continue to gain weight and her health was going to continue to deteriorate. So this is what we did. Step 1, the onboarding call. Basically, we hopped on a call as soon as we decided to work together, and we kind of went over like what she was currently doing. What do her days look like? What type of physical activity does she get? What is she eating? What were her other short-term and long-term goals? And how much time did she have each week to put toward her health and fitness, which is really important. Some people have more time than others, okay? And if you guys are anything like me or like Sterling, you work a lot. You spend a lot of your time working and just trying to build yourself up in your career. So it can be really, really hard to find time to also focus on health and fitness or integrate health and fitness into your life. And it could deter us from even wanting to try because it just all can seem pretty overwhelming to try to fit certain things in, okay? So the first thing we did was we decided to make goals, short-term goals for the first week. All right, phase 1, I had her just track her food, track her sleep, and go on 3 20-minute walks a week. That was it. And these things were all what she said that she could do. I didn't tell her that she needed to do 5 gym sessions a week for an hour each. She needed to count every single calorie that she ate. It was simply just tracking her food through MyFitnessPal. Okay, taking note of how much sleep she was getting, which is important because sleep regulates hormones. The hunger hormone and the satiation hormone are both affected by sleep. So if you're not getting enough sleep, what's going to happen is you're going to feel hungrier. Your body is trying to gather energy from any source that it can get it from, and food is going to be one if sleep is not available. So that is why you feel more hungry or more snacky, or you have cravings for more calorically dense foods if you are sleep deprived. Also, when you do eat those snacks, you have other hormones in your body that tell you that you're satisfied or not and to stop eating. Those are decreased. You can no longer feel as satisfied from certain foods. So that is why sleep is so important when you are trying to lose weight and you are starting a health and wellness journey. Sleep, I would say, is arguably almost, if not as important as nutrition when it comes to living a healthier lifestyle. She also said that she could walk 3 times a week for 20 minutes each. That was it. That is what we started with to just put in a baseline and kind of see where she was at, how she was feeling, what she could do, what she could commit to. I don't like to set my clients up for failure. I'm not going to sit here and throw a bunch of things at her or at any of my clients, asking them to do 100 different things. It's a slow integration process. So that is exactly what we did here. Step 3, we made adjustments. So we took some notes of exactly what she was struggling with in the first couple of steps, okay? What were the primary issues? What are the things that she noticed about the tasks that she had for that week? And where did she fall short, all right? So we took note of the struggles in step 2. And then we decided to set a number of calories per day. Something simple, just another baseline to kind of understand exactly where she was at and what types of changes that we could continue to make in the future. All right. We started to set a total number of steps per day. All right. She was already on her feet quite a bit, and she was starting to get her 20-minute walks in throughout the week. So we were able to kind of calculate exactly how many steps maybe she could start to aim for to push herself just a little bit. All right. And we also found dessert alternatives. So as you guys remember on the top, I did mention that she had a lot of sweet cravings. Okay. So we found dessert alternatives. We came up with a list of different things that she could eat that would satisfy her just as much as ice cream or donuts or cakes or cheesecakes or puddings or whatever. We found alternatives and decided that there were certain things that she could eat that could satisfy her just as much, that weren't going to completely sabotage her weight loss goals. All right. Another thing was throughout this process with starting to track her calories and really start to understand calories and macronutrients and things like that, she realized what she was eating. I asked her, her cravings for sweets started to decrease through this period of time, right? I asked her, what do you think has been the biggest mindset shift for you in order to not stop and grab those sweets when you go to the grocery store, when you walk by the sweets aisle? And this is what she said. She told me that when she started tracking her food and started realizing exactly what was in the food that she was eating, she was so turned off by what she was seeing when she would see what's in a piece of cake, what's in a cookie, what's in a brownie. And I'm telling you guys, you'll be so surprised. Some of these pieces of sweets are like 800 calories for a few bites, okay? That's why it's so important to just start trying to understand nutrition. And that's exactly what she did. She started understanding nutrition, what she was putting into her body. And she was so turned off by the amount of calories that she would see when she would go to log sweets and how it would completely sabotage everything that she was trying to do, when she could just have one of the sweet alternatives that we had come up with together and feel just as satisfied for a quarter of the amount of calories. All right. So the last step is we integrated these lifestyle changes into her life. All right. So healthy became the new normal. She enjoyed walking. Every day she would wake up. She ended up finding a walking buddy. She ended up finding somebody that she could just meet up with and talk and chat and stroll and get her steps in. And that was her new morning routine. Her cravings decreased by seeing not only the amount of calories that were in each of the foods that she was eating, but also because when we start to slowly make changes in our lives, we stop wanting certain things that aren't going to align with our goals, right? When we're unaware of the things that we're putting into our body, it's kind of like ignorance is bliss, right? Like you don't realize what you're doing to yourself, but once you start shedding light on those things, you can't hide from the truth anymore. Cravings decreased. We were focusing on her sleep as well, making sure she got enough rest. That helped with her cravings as well. And she had a set schedule for walks. Like I said, she was meeting up with her friends and going on walks every morning. It became part of her morning routine. And it almost became kind of like a fun game for her, is what I noticed about her, is that she started to, on our weekly meets, she started to tell me that her average steps for that week were 12,000 steps, 13,000 steps a day, right? When initially our goal was 20 minutes a day. I want to say our first step count goal was like 7,000 steps a day. But she started turning it into a game. And it seemed like she was kind of starting to enjoy the challenge and start to really like make it fun for her instead of a chore. So that is exactly how we worked together. This is 4 months later. Sterling lost 45 pounds in 4 months, which is absolutely unbelievable. If you can see this, she looks incredible for the amount of work and the amount of time that she has put in. Her foot pain and knee pain had gone away. They decreased tremendously within the first couple of months. That was something that she had mentioned, is that her legs were feeling better, her feet were feeling better. I could tell by our calls that she was just becoming a little bit more confident. She's becoming a little more talkative. She was venting a little bit more to me. She was just opening up, and you could just tell that she was just feeling good about the progress that she was making. She was feeling good about what she was doing for herself every single day and putting that time in every single day. She was proactive about making these decisions every single day. If she struggled with something, she reached out to me and let me know, hey, I've been craving sweets the last couple of days. What can I do? When we got on calls together, if she fell short, she always made up for it. She always got back up and went for it every single day. She never let herself get discouraged if maybe she was a couple thousand steps off, or if maybe she was too busy or too tired to go on a walk on a certain day, or if maybe she went on a couple day vacation and ate a little bit more on that vacation. So I'm telling you guys, it is so cool to see these transformations with people that they feel hopeless in the beginning. They feel hopeless. They don't know what to do. They have no sense of direction. And they start taking these small steps and they see these huge results in such a short amount of time, guys. 45 pounds in 4 months. And you guys can do the same. All you got to do is just start taking those small steps every single day to get closer to your goals. Get back up. Keep trying and trying, even if you fall short. Don't let yourself get discouraged. Those are the real tests. If you start getting discouraged, those are the real tests where you really got to look inward and see exactly why you're discouraged, why you're feeling discouraged, why you feel the way you feel, why you're thinking the way you think, and how you can reframe your mind by asking yourself, are the things that I'm telling myself right now actually the truth? Or is it just me talking negatively to myself? I hope this helps you guys. You enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.